as we're going to get underway for the first 10-lap dash in this All-Star Open. Whoever leads at the end of this first 10-lap sprint will be in the All-Star race. And Tyler Reddick leads the way down into turn 1. Ross Chastain there, right on the back bumper of that number 8 car. And Jay, we see Ross Chastain's really stepped it up here lately in the NR2003 series. Obviously, no points for him today, but he's been creeping himself closer and closer to the playoffs. I wouldn't write him off here to maybe win this first opening 10-lap sprint. He's already putting the pressure on the back of that 8 cars. They're 3 wide already behind them, and they're making contact. Actually,
contact.
Custer's in the wall with contact from his teammate. That is a big break there. That could have went wrong very quick.
Yeah, but unfortunate for Custer that on lap 1 of just each of our 10-lap stages here in the Open, he already has damage to that car and already going to lose a bunch of spots out of that as well. He was trying to fight side by side to try and stay in second place, but wound up losing a bunch of spots out of it, and got some pretty heavy damage to the right side of that car, so going to have to repair it on the pit lane, and you'd have to think pretty much go to the last spot in this field. But you're looking at the guy right there, or you were looking at him for a moment, Cody Ware. He's running in the top 5 right now, right? Sorry, in 6th actually.
Out of turn 4 for the final time, Tyler Reddick locks himself into the All-Star race, winning the first 10-lap sprint. Chastain fades down a few spots there into 3rd place as Chris Buescher will get 2nd place here in this first and opening 10 laps.
For Custer, he's going to have to make up some positions right now in this stage and try to be ready for that stage 3. And Chastain right now, he's also trying to battle for the lead in this Open right now, side by side with Chris Buescher and side by side behind them as well between Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe. Also, Ricky Stenhouse trying to follow through. Chase Briscoe on the inside, but Chastain, we saw him lose second place on the last lap of stage number 1. This time grabs that now first place back from Chris Buescher, and Reddick still pulling away, but obviously he has not scored, so it's still side by side for the lead between Chastain and Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher not going away easily, but Chastain certainly has the advantage on the inside.
The second of 3 10-lap sprints, Ross Chastain exits turn 4. He'll be the second driver to lock themselves into the All-Star race, and right now it's Chris Buescher who's going to be in the best position for this final 10-lap sprint. But
counts in this race, Chase Briscoe in a pretty good position as well to make a move on Stenhouse if he wants to and try and go fight Chris Buescher for the lead in this stage.
Right now, though, Stenhouse not doing it. The stage comes to a close at the conclusion of lap 40. We're not going to lap 51. We're going to the conclusion of lap 40, and it will be over here. So Stenhouse running out of time already here as he's all over, though, the back of that 17J. It looks like both of these guys right now seem to be faster than Chastain. That's what's impeding the 17 and the 47. But here goes Stenhouse right here. An opportunity to slip up the inside, but the 17 is going to cover it off.
Yeah, Stenhouse was almost able to make that move on Chris Buescher for a moment. Chris Buescher almost waited a little bit too long to get around Chastain, but he was able to do it right there. Now slots himself again. Still in first place at this stage. They're just getting past Ross Chastain and no longer counts, and that's going to put Stenhouse still right there with Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe as well. So we come off turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Chris Buescher is going to lock his way into the All-Star race in the final stage. And now, Gary, we just got to figure out the fan vote.
Yes, we do. There you have it, your 3 drivers that advance into the All-Star race. Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, and Chris Buescher. And the fan vote winner is that man right there, Cody Ware, in that number 51. And here as we're going to get underway with Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch on the pole here. Obviously, Jay, in real life, the sprint or the All-Star Open winners have to start in the back. We can't, of course, do that here. So we got Tyler Reddick, our All-Star Open Stage 1 winner, up here in P3. I mean, we could see for the first time, I think, since Casey Kane in 2009, one of the All-Star Open winners maybe actually raced their way in and win the All-Star race.
Tyler Reddick's been one of our strongest cars so far this season, so certainly would not be surprising to see him at least challenge for the win here in Texas for the All-Star race. Right now, sitting in second place, trying to make a move to the inside of Kevin Harvick for the lead of this race, and he does so. He makes the move to the inside. Kevin Harvick still stuck up on the outside. So Tyler Reddick side by side with him for the lead of this race. Ryan Blaney right behind Tyler Reddick. Alex Bowman behind him, and then it's a little bit of a break where we get 2 by 2 by 2 with Kyle Busch up at the outside lane. Now Kyle Larson with him as well. So the outside lane gets some definite momentum down the back straightaway and potentially down the front straightaway as well. But in the corners, you can see Tyler Reddick at the inside line.
Oh!
They have such a big advantage. Oh, and there's
Elliott!
Chase Elliott.
Logano!
Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, all involved. Kurt Busch as well. Kurt Busch, his season goes from bad to worse. All-Star race obviously doesn't count for points, but he was hoping to have a good, at least All-Star race, exhibition race, and he even doesn't have a good race. Cody Ware, our fan vote winner, involved in this crash as well.
Here's a look at this accident 3 wide with Elliott. You see the 20 and the 11 teammates come together, and Elliott's really just a bystander of that, Jay. And unfortunately, not only Elliott, but several others get some contact involved as well. The final time, and actually Jay opens up a nice gap. That's the largest lead we've seen so far, and he's going to exit turn 4 to win this opening segment. But boy, did we see some hectic, chaotic racing here on these restarts. But up ahead, Jay, there we go. See Ryan Blaney again making a move up the inside of Kyle Busch, and there goes Larson as well.
Larson almost forced a 3 wide for a moment, but everybody able to get it once again settled out back to 2 wide again, and Kyle Larson trying to shove his way into second place in this race. Kyle Busch, our winner from the last stage, currently on the outside lane with Chastain, going to lose a little bit of ground here. Ryan Blaney out to easily to the lead by himself. Nobody even challenging him right now. So Kyle Larson trying to challenge Kyle Busch for second place. Kevin Harvick. Oh, Kevin Harvick might make a 3 wide. He is going to make a 3 wide. We saw this before get a little bit sketchy when Harvick was one on the outside. Now he's one on the inside. Kyle Busch. Oh, a little bit of take that time. But Larson in the outside wall again. That was 2 times he hit the outside wall, but he somehow saved it.
Through 3 and 4. Reddick, could he maybe try and poke his nose? Is it going to happen? No, it's not. Kevin Harvick got a turn 4, leads the way, and he is going to come through to win the second segment here from Texas Motor Speedway.
And actually, never mind. They're side by side for the lead now. Tyler Reddick making the move to the inside of Kevin Harvick. Tyler Reddick and Kevin Harvick have both been incredibly strong so far in this race, and now Ryan Blaney trying to follow him through as well. And Martin Truex Jr. finally putting his name up here for the first time in this race as well. So Tyler Reddick, it might be able to get clear off turn 2. He does get clear off turn 2 for the lead of this race. Kevin Harvick fighting back on the outside with that momentum off turn 2 actually. So they're still again side by side for the lead. In the background, that green car, Kyle Busch, he is coming. He is moving his way back up through this field, trying to fight for the lead of this race again. He's also had a very fast car so far in this race. I think so far that what we've seen is every single time the leader on the restarts actually might be at a disadvantage because we've seen them get jumped every single time on those restarts. So Ryan Blaney here, if he wins the stage, which off turn 4 he will win this segment number 3 in the All-Star race to set us up for that long 20 lap run to the end of this race. But Ryan Blaney wins it, and Martin Truex Jr. is going to finish in second place. I think Martin Truex Jr. might be in the preferred position right here. He's going to be in second place to try and immediately jump to the inside of our leader, Ryan Blaney.
No 3 wide action here like we saw in the first and second segment. Third segment, they stayed 2 by 2, and once again, they're actually going to keep it pretty calm here. As Martin Truex Jr., though, up the inside of that number 12 of Ryan Blaney as they sail off into turn 1. 14 laps to go here or 15 actually, in this final segment now as Martin Truex Jr. is side by side with Ryan Blaney, both looking for their first All-Star wins. Kevin Harvick ready to pounce on the opportunity, of course, if it arises as well. And Jay, we see Alex Bowman getting closer and closer to the mix of this battle. We can't count out that number 48 either.
Right now, I mean, Martin Truex Jr. still making the move, trying to make the move in the way to the inside of Ryan Blaney. He gets it done this time, and Kevin Harvick's going to try and follow him through as well. And we're seeing Truex be able to kind of walk away from the field a little bit and leave them in the dust as they're still fighting side by side for second place right here. Kevin Harvick might be able to get the job done. He does right there. So now he's solely into second place. Looks like he might. There he goes right there to the inside of Kevin Harvick. So he's going to make the move himself. Harvick should be able to fight back on the outside and turn, or down the back straightaway off of turn 2. But still, Tyler Reddick to the inside now. Back in 3 and 4, Tyler Reddick should be able to find himself into second place. And that's, once again, also allowing Martin Truex Jr. to walk away from them a little bit again. The gap is open back up between first and second place. But Tyler Reddick has done a really good job and going to find himself most likely clear, or at least close to being clear of Kevin Harvick off turn 4.
White flag in the All-Star race in the air for Martin Truex Jr. Does Reddick have anything for him? I don't think he does. As he leads the way down into turn 1, Reddick, it's going to have to be a big run down the back straightaway and a move up the inside into turn 3. But look at the gap between him and Truex. It's just too much here as Truex continues to comfortably stay ahead as they head down into turn 3.
Final time through turn 3 and 4. Martin Truex Jr. doesn't really have any challenge from behind from Tyler Reddick. So Reddick not going to be able to put the challenge to him. Martin Truex Jr. off turn 4 is going to win the All-Star race in Texas. Tyler Reddick finishes second. Alex Bowman in third. But Gary, that is a huge win for Martin Truex Jr. A little bit of momentum to go his way as well, and pride. Martin Truex Jr. did a fantastic job of grabbing the lead of this race in the final stage and never gave it up once he got it.